light rains would be something like if you're driving, you don't need to put your wiper on and you'll still be able to see the road. If it's moderate type of rain, and you need to put it at intermittent. If it's heavy type of rain, that means that your wiper needs to be continuous and slow. If it's intense type of rain, your wiper needs to be continuous but fast in order to see the road. If it's torrential, even if you put it at fast and continuous, you still wouldn't be able to see the road. So that's just some kind of explanation to be able to relate to the people, to explain it in more simple terms. Also, in the Project NOAA website, we have probabilities of rain, but since Project NOAA deals with disasters, we only have forecasts. Okay, this one is an old slide. It used to be 6 hours, and now it's every hour up to 4 hours. That's an old one. And you can see when it was last checked, based on the satellite data, the Doppler data, and some ground validation, they try to put up probabilities of rainfall in the website, up to 4 hours every hour. The stream gauges have been deployed all over the Philippines. This is the FCOS system with the addition of some ASTI sensors. And it's a prototype actually for the Project NOAA, Marikina Watershed, or Marikina Pasig Watershed. And it's going to be repeated for the different basins. I think JICA has already did it for Bicol, Agno, and Pampanga. And hopefully we will be able to stream it also in Project NOAA so that people can actually view it. And the sensors, for example, here in Montalban Station, you can see it already in the form of normal, alert, alarm, and critical. This is based on the FCOS assessment level of 1999. But the Makati City Council has actually come up with a system wherein if you look at the Santo Niño station, at 15 meters, they tell the people to be prepared, be alert. At 16, to prepare. Did I say Makati? I'm sorry. I'm daydreaming. Marikina. Okay, Marikina. At 15, they tell the residents of Marikina to be on alert. At 16, to prepare for evacuation. At 17, they're evacuated. And at 18 meters, they're supposed to be forcibly evacuated. During the time of Habagat, which delivered a total of about 1,007 millimeters of rain from August 6 to 8, no? Compared to Ondoy, which was one day delivered 455 millimeters of rain. But each day of that, during August 6, 7, and 8, each day was actually still at the top of the list from the record of Pag-asa at Quezon City since the 1960s. So each day was still at the record level, top 5. And Project NOAA was actually used during the time of Habagat. And it was heavily used in coordination with Malacanang and the Marikina City Council, the Vice Mayor and the Mayor. There were 2 evacuations that were made, and the decisions were made also in conjunction with the information delivered by Project NOAA. So hopefully this kind of system can be replicated in the different watersheds. Not only do you see, or do we try to show the cross-section of the Marikina River at different places, we actually simulate the plan view of the condition of the Marikina River. So during the Habagat floods, you would see that entire place, no, that low-lying area called as the San Mateo Fields or San Mateo floodplain, all inundated. So this is what I was showing. That's the Marikina River, and this was June 17. This was before the Habagat floods. But you can see that part of San Mateo being inundated. And then it stopped because the rains did not continue that morning. But in Habagat, the floodplains of San Mateo was fully inundated, and then it was followed by inundation in Barangay Silangan, and then Bagong Silangan, and then Tumana, and then Provident, and into Pasig. So those floodplains are actually called as such because during times when the river swells, the water enters into the plains, and that's why they're called floodplains. Also, in the Project NOAA website, we have two-dimensional simulations of flood scenarios for 5-year rain return, the 25-year rain return, the 50-year rain return floods, the 100, and the Ondoy floods. No? The Ondoy floods. And if you're wondering what those colors mean, there's a map legend, red, orange, and yellow, which means high, medium, and low. Hazard is the product of flood depth and velocity. And there's a height command there to show you what those colors actually mean. It's about, that man is about 6'2" in height, about my height. Ano kayo dyan? Okay. It's it's the height of Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, the boxing legend for our flood hazard legend. Do you know Manny Pacquiao?
Of course.
You've heard of him? He's a great man. Anyway, the facility, actually, you can just put in your address, and then you type your address. It makes use of the Google search engine. You type the address and it brings you to the place that you're interested in. So gone are the days, at least for Marikina in Metro Manila, wherein a realtor would tell you that this place is safe from floods. But it's just a matter of opening the website and looking at it and seeing whether that realtor is lying or not. And the last facility that I'll be showing is the flood reporting system, wherein we ask all of the netizens or encourage the netizens to put in their anecdotal accounts of floods. It doesn't have to be the floods of Ondoy. It can be any flood delivered by any type of weather disturbance, maybe the Habagat or any thunderstorm. And the reason why we're encouraging people to do that is because we want to validate the flood simulations. But in the process of doing so, we are actually getting the people to become more aware and to participate in the effort of mapping floods. And by making them participate, they have a bigger stake in the effort, and that would make them more aware of the problems in their community and make them more participate in the disaster effort. There's an Android app that's going to be released for the Project NOAA website on October 1. And there's going to be also an Android application that's going to be released also on October 1 just for the flood reporting system. So every time it rains, you can put in your anecdotal account of the flood. It's actually geolocated because it's an Android phone. And if everybody does that, so many million people of Metro Manila does that, we'll be able to map out the floods for a particular weather disturbance at a very, very fast rate. So in the future, we just have to look at the rainfall scenario, compare it with the accounts of the people, and just by looking at the rainfall scenario, the intensity of rain, we would already know, based on the accounts of the people, where it would flood at a particular place and at what height. Everything that I showed to you is not just a PowerPoint. I'm actually telling the truth. And you can see all of these features in the Project NOAA website. When you go home, you can actually look at the website. Just go to noaa.usd.gov.ph. There's something wrong with the resolution, but just to show you some of the features, for example, the flood map, the 100-year flood map, let's say, of Quezon City. Okay, you can look at that, and you see that in these places, like the river, But anyway, this is just to show you that it's really online. No? It's not just a PowerPoint, and it's real. And just one note before I end the presentation, NOAA is not just a website. It's really a way of life. So we try to encourage the people to make it a habit and put it into their system to be safe all the time, to be prepared, and to be safe not only during times of crisis, but the preparation actually takes a long time to do. To be able to do that, it takes years of exercise, looking at the features, looking at the information, digesting the information, and putting it into action during times of crisis. And during the Habagat, I congratulate all those living in Marikina because they knew what to do and they put into action their knowledge. And that's very important. And it actually works hand in hand. Government must bring the most timely and reliable information to the communities. But if the communities are not prepared, then the disaster effort will fail. In the reverse, even if the government delivers critical information in a timely fashion, but the communities, or did I say that already? So in the reverse, if the communities are not prepared and the government brings or provides useful information and critical information at the right time, then again, the disaster effort will not work. So again, it's both ways. It works hand in hand, and we hope to be able, through this system, it's been going on for a long time, the efforts done by government, but this is the latest government initiative trying to bring forth all the lessons that we've learned from past disasters, including the landslide at Ginsabugon, the lahars, the Durian lahars, the floods during Pepeng, Pedring, Kel, Sendong, Ondoy, and so on. We've learned a lot, and we're trying to put it all into one system, trying to deliver it, and trying to help the Filipino people. Thank you very much.